Hello, Shane here with Thunder Beast Arms. Today we're going to talk about timing your brake for your 30 BA or 338 BA, whatever. Going to talk about the tools you're going to need. You're going to need your brake, your peel washer. Crescent wrench works just fine. Some red Loctite. You don't want to use the blue, definitely get the red. The 262, the 271, it really doesn't matter. A razor blade or a good knife with a point. What I'm really looking for is this corner. So if you've got a nice fine knife with a good point, fillet knife might work. Lighter, calipers, pair of pliers. And if you're getting a little older, maybe some glasses. And then something to cut on so you're not cutting up your table. The other first thing you want to do, obviously, is make sure that your gun's unloaded. Magazine out, bolt back, give it a check. Good to go that way. First thing we're going to do when we get started, you can take your brake and just screw it on. And then I'm going to take my peel washer and I'm going to jam it right down inside there. I'm kind of going to snug up on it. And what I'm looking for is there is a larger flat, this would be the bottom, and there's a smaller, narrower flat this way, this will be the top. If you look on the front, there's also a logo, and you want that logo to be upright so that you can read it. So anyway, I'm going to put this washer in between and just get it good and snug, and it'll kind of give me an idea of how far I need to go, so how much I need to peel off of this washer. So in this case, it's looking like probably 2 layers. Each layer is 2 thousandths thick, 0.002. And one layer, that 0.002, will give you about 17, 18 degrees, something like that. So guessing on this one, I'm going to say probably 2 layers. The layers can be a little tricky to get off one at a time. So if you wind up with 2, you can split that again, and you can use that one piece. You want to use the washer as thick as possible for a couple reasons. It won't get deformed and squished and cause alignment problems if it's thicker. If you're getting it down and you're trying to just use one single layer, I'd really advise against that because it's really sharp getting it on there. You're going to cut your fingers up and you have a real chance of bending it, and it's going to cause you alignment issues. So you want to keep this thing nice and flat. So alright, so to get started, I know I want to try to take 2 layers. I'm going to try it without heating it first. If you can't get it to split, just hold it with some tweezers or something, and you'll just heat one side. And what that'll do is that'll delaminate one side. I'm going to try not to do that so I don't have to wait for it to cool. But so I'll set this down on something. I'll get my razor blade and just use the corner and try to get one layer. Alright, so once I get that to start to go in, I'm going to try to save that in case I have to use it, in case I wind up with 2 there. So I'm just going to work my razor blade around. Alright, I'm going to set this aside, keep it handy. If I'm curious how much I actually got, I can take and measure it. And it looks like I got 2 layers, so I might have got lucky. So I can check it this way again. That's got me really close. You don't want to get it right straight up and down like this because there's going to be a little rolled edge and it's going to give you a false measurement. So go ahead and pull your brake all the way off, get the washer on, and see how it goes from there. Like I said, be careful when you're putting that on. It'll have a sharp edge, you can cut yourself. Sometimes you might have to screw them down over the threads just a little bit. You don't want to get it on and push it back with the brake. It'll get caught up in those threads and you'll bend it. Alright, so once I get it close, I'm just going to give it a little twist there and see what I got, and that's really close. So, I know that's what I want. You don't need to get these any tighter than that. You probably don't even need to get it that tight. If you go and use super reef on this thing, basically you're stretching the very last part of the barrel that touches your bullet. And if you stress that, you're going to give it like a little trumpet effect. And it could affect your accuracy. So you just snug is all you need. That's what the Loctite's for. So at this point, I'm going to put some Loctite on. And I'm going to be pretty generous with it. I'm not going to want to go over it, so I'm going to come up gradually. And then I'll just take my level. And if you don't have a level, it's not a big deal. You can kind of eyeball it. You know, just, it'll work if it's sideways. It really doesn't matter. It's just going to dust print really bad. So that's whatever you're into. So I'm going to level the rifle just on any flat surface, the scope ring, the scope base, anything relatively flat. Alright, so that's really close actually. Alright, that's it. Any questions, give us a call. Thanks.